I'm getting married today.
Hey everybody, it's Gavin.
I'm actually gonna propose to my girlfriend is the plan today. And to be honest, I'm kind of freaking out here.
Listen closer now. You better come to your senses for everything you want. Baby, I'm your man.
That's what I woke up thinking 11 years ago. What was I, 22? And that is when my life started.
Impulsive as I am, I'll always stick to your plan. Won't give you up cause you keep me moving. Won't give you up cause you keep me moving tonight. Wish to take you for a ride.
My parents taught me to question, to challenge, to use my brain. Even though I wasn't fully awake, even though I thought we were still the greatest and the bestest and the freest, and I'm like, well, we just gotta stand up and vote harder, right? But I didn't fully realize that the bad guys had totally taken over our government, and the so-called patriots and the 3%ers were actually working, shaking hands, and cooperating with the enemy. I didn't realize our nation had been taken over by loyalists. I didn't realize that the churches who called themselves followers of Christ actually worshiped the state.
I'll never break the rules. There's a mighty God. We'll have some beautiful children. Impatient, my middle name. I promise to be cool. Won't give you up cause you keep me moving. Won't give you up cause you keep me moving tonight. Wish to take you for a ride. High girl, high with me. No one pulls us down.
The first night I spent with Sandra, I woke up the next morning and I looked at the ceiling and I said, I'm married. What now? Most of the friends and people we hung out with then, and even in the years to come, have completely abandoned us now because we make them uncomfortable by speaking the truth, by saying that their faux freedom isn't freedom, by standing up for the rights of mankind. And when Cyrus was born, I realized how not in control I was. When our second came, that was Anna, I remember being in the hospital and saying, we're going home to sleep in our own beds. And they were having a conniption. The woman said she was gonna call child services if I didn't stay in the hospital in their uncomfortable, overpriced beds for longer. And I said, you don't threaten me. Around 2011, I think, is when we really started to travel the USA in earnest as a family. It's also when I fully realized we were not free. That's when I did my first checkpoint, challenging federal authorities and saying, what you're doing is wrong. That's when I realized that to question those authorities was radical, that people thought I was strange. That's when I realized that we no longer lived in a nation where when you stood up to a bully, that was considered a good thing. Even the people who kind of agreed with you didn't really want to socialize with. And as your voice grew louder and stronger, and as our family resisted the terror of our government, of blue ISIS, people started pulling away. As people called us radicals and haters for speaking up, for stepping up, for loving our neighbor. We went on our honeymoon and we bought this old tent trailer for our honeymoon, and we went road tripping and we explored because there's a freedom in traveling and in exploring and seeing things. And then in time we realized that freedom didn't actually exist in our country anymore, a land of police force and brutality and checkpoints. But worst of all, a land where people are not allowed to say no. Where when you're the one who speaks up, you're ostracized and your friends walk away from you and they say you should do what you're told and you should obey because that's what Jesus would do or that's what patriots would do. But Sandra stuck with me every time.
Won't give you up 'cause you keep me moving.
I wake up and think, well, did they feel shortchanged because it's cost us so much? Because eventually we actually had to pack up and leave, drive down the highway in the dark of night to escape the USA for somewhere I wouldn't be arbitrarily imprisoned. We didn't get to be ordinary people. We didn't get to just have a country home in the suburbs and go to the church picnics and have everybody waving and shaking our hands. They do wave and shake our hands, but sometimes when they walk up, you don't know if they're going to shake your hand or if they're going to assassinate you. I'm just gonna wear the button up because it'll drive her up the wall.
Beautiful children.
You ready to marry me?
I already did.
I promise to
Did we lose something by standing up? We lost apathy. We lost the easy, keep your head down, do what you're told life that works okay until it doesn't. What we gained is freedom. What we gained is teaching our kids what it actually means to stand up to a bully. Bullies like the police that roam our streets, extorting and robbing and kidnapping and murdering. Bullies like the government that tells us that freedom is waving a flag and marching in the streets in their parades. Bullies that say you do what you're told or you go to prison. Something more than mindless sheep. When we love our neighbor, when we step up, when we resist evil, then we learn what it means to follow Jesus. Then we learn what it means to be free. Then we learn what it means to be a family. I think then we learn maybe what it means to love.
I'm gonna go to one of the swanky seafood restaurants in town.
Okay.
We got like $30, but this is Mexico, so that should cover it.
you keep me moving. Won't give you up, cause you keep me moving tonight. Wish to take you for a ride. High girl, high with me. No one pulls us down. High girl, high with me. Flashlights leaving town. High girl, high with me. I'll bring the beats of your wedding gown.
She's been there with me all along. I love you, Sandra Syme. Happy anniversary.